And here's patient number 3. See, Margaret, from the way his hands are trembling, the subject's brain is still functioning, in spite of the post-traumatic. Sometimes regains consciousness in short bouts. And sinks back into sleep.
Hey, you! Stop right there! Come on, come back here!
What do we recommend in this kind of situation, Margaret? Being a song. Yeah, you're making progress, Margaret. But you must keep studying.
Huh?
Mr. Pierce.
Mr. Pierce, can you hear me?
The Mason!
Everything is fine, Mr. Pierce.
Wait, what the hell am I doing here?
It was just a nightmare.
I was there!
Mr. Pierce, don't
Have
move.
to get back there.
You have to rest.
No, but the dreams, they were real!
Only time can heal
I
your
have
affliction.
to...
If we were unable to beat this mini-boss, we would be tempted to return to the bar, and perhaps feed from Tom for a greater experience boost, returning stronger, but with London thinning in numbers. Vampire's combat system uses a mix of melee and ranged weapons supported by vampire abilities that allow you to be the vampire you want to be. The gameplay is based on timing, positioning, and management of different resources. The stamina bar regulates your melee moves and dodges, the blood bar controls the use of your supernatural abilities, and the health bar represents your health. Skulls are a lesser species of vampires lurking in quarantine areas, underground or in dark corners. Due to the Spanish flu epidemic, they have suffered heavy mutations and have recently become very aggressive. It's part of your quest to understand how they became such creatures and ultimately find a cure to save them. In this world, the human vampire hunters and skulls are having their own fight. As long as we don't get too close, we can just move on. Sean is a saint who manages a night asylum to provide food and rest to the poorest. Unfortunately, he has recently turned into a skull. You believe that, incapable of dealing with his new condition, he has fled from the hospital, a sacred ground, and murdered Harriet Jones, an old woman who certainly didn't deserve it. Most importantly, he is the pillar of the dock community, which means he's a very important character whose fate will deeply impact the district and everyone who lives within it.
Sector is clear. Not clear! Not clear!
Assignments. They are unusual.
Grab onto something!
I'm trying!
Combat is your art, and mastering the medium is essential to becoming an absolver. Upon arriving in Adal, all prospects have a core combat style and an initial combat deck. On their path to absolution, prospects will learn new possibilities and mix them to create their own unique method of fighting. One of 3 combat styles are chosen at the beginning of your journey, but other styles exist in the world of Absolver. Each combat style improves specific character attributes and comes with its own unique special ability. Balanced and powerful, with the Forsaken style, prospects can parry enemy attacks, briefly stunning their opponent. Strong and resistant, practitioners of the cult method can absorb hits without being stunned or pushed back, and regain lost health if the counterattack is successful. The students of the Windfall combat style will have greater dexterity and will. They can avoid enemy attacks, leaving their enemies open to a powerful counter. To give more possibilities, new attacks can be unlocked by fighting against any kind of opponent, from the newest prospect to the strongest absolver. Besides this, prospects can learn other combat styles by choosing a mentor and staying loyal to him or her. Prospects can choose mentors as they meet in the world. Through their loyalty, prospects can learn additional combat styles and use their mentor's combat deck. Steel yourself, dear prospect. Combat instincts may come natural, but refining your combat style and combat deck is key to both basic survival and victory in the lost lands of Adal.
The Northmen say the world will come to an end. The sun will grow black, the earth will sink into the sea, the stars will disappear, fire and water will meet, flames will play against the sky, the heavens and earth and all the world will be burned, all the gods will be dead, and the warriors of Valhalla and people everywhere. Senua, prepare yourself for Ragnarok, for it is nigh.
There. I'll bet the aqueduct's routed through that structure.
I doubt we're free and clear. Keep an eye out.
Oh, fuck.
Stop! Shit!
Hey! Here they are, over here!
It's a song! Get to the building! Go! Watch the tree! Come on, this way! Oh, God! Right! Fraser! Over here! Be right there! Never knew what hit him. Let's go!
Oh. You alright?
I think so.
Dead Alliance is a team-based tactical shooter with the unique hook of there being a huge amount of zombies in the middle messing everything up. Unlike many other first-person shooters that have zombies in them, the aim of the game is not to mow down as many zombies as you can. The whole point is that you use the zombies as a tactical weapon against your enemy. You can use special weapons that we've developed in the game that you can either turn them into attack dogs for your team, for example, or you can use them as defensive shields. It adds a very, very unique tactical hook to the game, making it pretty different from most first-person shooters you're ever going to play.
So the story in Dead Alliance takes place in the future after the zombie apocalypse has already happened. What we have left now is similar to these warring military, paramilitary factions who are fighting over the resources that are left. But in that, they have also found out how to control these zombies using various pheromones and noises.
There are more in quantity of the zombies. They're an easier thing to use than, using things like bullets or ammo or grenades. You don't want to waste that stuff. That stuff's extremely valuable. But what do you have lying around? You have a bunch of zombies there. Let's take that. Let's use that.
This whole concept creates a strategic challenge that will pull you in and keep you on your toes. It's always fun to actually get a kill on somebody else with your weapon, but it's extremely satisfying when you are able to weaponize a zombie and it ends up taking down 3 people.
Really, it kind of makes you rethink the way you play a first-person shooter. I mean, there's guys we play against in the office that are great at shooting, but I have an advantage over them because I know how to weaponize the zombies.
The most direct way is to just weaponize a group of zombies when they're near an enemy, and they will help take down that enemy while you're also attacking them yourself.
Or even block an enemy's egress into or out of a building. So for example, if you know that there's an enemy or a team of enemies inside a building, you can send a group of zombies into that building to either flush out your enemy or to kill them outright.
So it's really finding what combinations of items work well together.
There's a PAM grenade that you can throw at the zombies and it gets them super mad and they will be hyper aggressive.
I've seen people use zombies as kind of a wall, so they'll use the LRAD, which basically attracts zombies into an area so that the snipers and the enemies at a distance couldn't really attack them, so they had to pick off a wall of zombies at first.
And so it really just creates a more dynamic battlefield for players to experience.
Dude, she's gonna regret every word. Every word.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
I'm gonna teach this little punk some man.
I'm serious. You want to see me get angry here? Because I'm getting there. And it won't be pretty. It won't.
She thinks she can take
Rachel? Come on. Hurry up.
not gonna happen. Calm down. Come on, man. Walk away. Screw this. Bullshit. Get the fuck out of here.
Dowd, it's good to see you, old man.
You up for one last job, Billy?
Who's the mark?
The black-eyed bastard responsible for all the chaos.
We're gonna kill the outsider.
Guardian, to me!
Don't let them pass the gate. The evac shuttles are back there. Regulation are well trained, but we are better. We will hold this line until the last civilian is safely away.
Incoming! Fall back to my shoes! More Red Legion! Show them what Guardians are made of!
Need to find the speaker. The shield generator should be straight ahead.
Your journey ends What really puts machine guns on the map is that whilst we're making really strong narrative games, we give enough room to have the proper gameplay experience.
So if you look at it from a scientific point of view, it's a fantasy, it's not real life. But from an emotional point of view, we want it to feel real. We want you to feel like you're there.
Nazis work really well because we can all agree that they're bad guys. You don't mind wiping them out.
I mean, who doesn't want to kill Nazis?
Let me first make it absolutely clear that I am not a Nazi.
The Nazis have really expanded when it comes to research with the technology. So you will see old versions coming back but improved with new technology, but you'll also see completely new enemies.
We have bumped them up a bit. They are a little bit bigger, more intimidating, more fun to kill, I hope.
If you're up for the challenge, you can definitely bring up your biggest guns and try and take them head on. If you're good, it might work. On the other hand, if you want to be more clever, maybe you want to find a vantage point, bring up a weapon that you attach a scope on, and maybe even a silencer, and start taking them out from afar. You go down, you start sneaking, start taking them out with melee moves in a more precise manner. With stealth in Wolfenstein, it's not about avoiding contact or avoid killing, it's about how to kill them silently, how to take them out one by one. If it goes wrong, you can still just bring up 2 weapons and clear the room.
Each combat scenario has 1 or 2 commanders, and those are the important targets. What we're doing now for New Colossus is to make sure that the commanders can call for reinforcement several times.
I think the coolest thing we've done is that you can now dual wield freely. You can mix the weapons any way you want with left and right hand. I enjoy having like a precise silent weapon in one hand and then like my backup if shit breaks loose. This is my go-to, so I don't have to start switching weapon during combat. But you can also see people going with 1 long range and 1 close range. You know, you walk around the corner, you have your close range weapon ready. And some people just want 2 shotguns.
We are introducing a hatchet. That gives us a lot of opportunities to make the takedowns a little bit more excessive. There's a lot of things you can do with a hatchet and a Nazi.
No matter how crazy things get, you are always emotionally invested in what you're doing.
We don't want the player to just play BJ Blazkowicz. We want the player to feel like they actually are BJ Blazkowicz.
For this game, our theme was catharsis. So at the end of it, I think you will be ready to go out on the streets and start a revolution.
Better be careful here.
I should go drop these priests to death. Let us stand to take them.
A fine bow.
If the people see these dead priests, they will surely revolt.
It is too dangerous. I will pass for now. Guide me, Senu. Betunamon. You will die, Medunamun.
Die, you bastard!
Available October 27th.
Gather your troops. Will do. Oh, just make sure you let me pop his heads off, won't ya?
We already had a few loyal followers in our army, like Boobol the Undaunted and Aztamo Rockskull. Recruiting Bruce means we're ready to assault the fortress and overthrow the Overlord. We're expanding the open world of Mordor to highlight some lesser-known regions like Saragost and Cirith Ungol. Mordor is a massive, living, breathing world filled with orc society, tribes, wildlife, as well as stories and secrets.
You cleaved me in two. Any other orc would have died, but I survived. More than that, I thrived. My brothers put me back together, stronger than ever. But they didn't make me into what I am. You did.
So we can take advantage of his abilities alongside drakes, graugs, and other beasts during the fortress assault. There are millions of ways to forge your story and conquer Mordor.
I add you to my ranks! I swear my allegiance!
Before we charge headfirst into the assault, we should plan our attack. This Overlord and his war chiefs bring poison spouts to the fight, but Bruce is bringing sappers with him to counter those defenses. We've selected our followers, and now we'll start the assault.
My black speech is a little rusty. Actually, I don't know a single word, which is a pain in the ass, but to hazard a guess, he said you're all gonna die horribly. Yeah, my kind of black.
Well, I will handle the Overlord. You focus on the defenders.
Define focus.
Unlimited ways to forge your story and conquer Mordor in Shadow of War.
Imagine a game without limits. A world where you can build anything, from spaceships to orbital stations. Explore, craft, trade, and conquer. All in one universe, shared by everyone at the same time. Forge your collective story. This is your world. Rebuild civilization together. dual universe.